In Duet Night Abyss, there are hundreds of demon wedges, starting at the bottom of the food chain with the blue wedges and going to the tip of the mountain with the gold demon wedges. Now in today's video, I want to make sure you guys know exactly which demon wedges are the absolute must-have in the gold category. Because for those of you that don't know, the difference between a blue or purple wedge to a maxed out gold can be life-changing. So with that said, we're going to hop right into the video and break down the absolute must-have gold demon wedges. Alright, what's good guys, CJ here, and today we gotta talk about these demon wedges, alright? First off, we're gonna kick things off with the basics, and we're gonna talk about the ways to actually get yourself the gold demon wedges. There's currently 5 ways you can go about getting gold demon wedges, each one of them being a little bit different from the other, and not only that, but each one of them offering different demon wedges. The first one we're gonna talk about is going to be the shop. That one's quite simple. You go to the shop, covert missions, demon wedges, and in here, as you can see, there is going to be a plethora of demon wedges that you're going to be able to get for all your different elements, all your different needs. So this is going to be one of the most important ways to get yourself some of the best and rarest demon wedges in the game. Now, the next method to getting demon wedges is pretty simple. You're going to want to go to your Nocto manual, and in here, all the way at level 70 and 80, you have 2 more ways to get yourself more demon wedges. Now, level 70 ones unlock at level 55 trial rank, and level 80 missions unlock at level 60 trial rank. And in here, you're going to be able to get some of the rarest and best demon wedge blueprints in the game. Like right here, we have Wings Inspo, and in here, you're also going to have some very popular ones, Onslaught, Intrepidity, Duel, that are also very, very popular and good options for demon wedges. Now, for your 4th option, you're actually going to have a weekly activity, and that's going to be Bounty, aka Chase, and here is where you want to make sure you do this thing every single week. You have 3 runs, and you want to make sure you go in here and get yourself your blueprints, because you're going to get some of the best and rarest blueprints in the game, and when I say the rarest, this is literally the only place you can actually go about getting your prime blueprints. And these things are absolutely insane, because these are some of the best blueprints, because when you get them to level 5, they already give you a bigger stat boost than the regular +5 purple demon wedges, which most blueprints or most wedges, when you get them from purple to gold at base +5, they don't actually give you more stats. These, on the other hand, instantly do. So you want to make sure you're going out of your way and always doing your chase missions. Now, for our 5th method, we have another weekly activity, and that's going to be Mystic Mace. Yes, in Mystic Mace, you can actually go into the shop and buy consonant weapon demon wedges. Now, these are going to be very important, and you want to make sure you're actually going out of your way to get these, because as you can see right here, they do have a timer. They're going to refresh. So if you really like a character that uses consonant weapons, you want to make sure you're going out here and getting their best in slot wedges, so you can start duping them up and getting them stronger. The first demon wedge I'm going to advise you guys get to gold is going to be none other than Wings Inspo. I think this is the most impactful demon wedge in the game, because the only other option is going to be a blue Wings Inspo. And when you compare a +5 blue to a +5 gold, there is a big difference. And let's not even talk about the +10 gold Wings Inspo. It's going to change your account. You're going to be able to slot this on every single one of your supports, and not only supports, any character that has a sanity issue is going to take great advantage from a gold Wings Inspo. So do be sure you get this as fast as possible. And the best thing about this wedge is that you're going to be able to farm this as you farm other demon wedges, so you're eventually going to get this rather quickly compared to a lot of the other wedges that we're going to talk about. For our next one, we have a demon wedge that is going to increase the damage of any character you put it on, and it's going to be universal, meaning you can use this demon wedge on any character regardless of the element, and that is none other than Duel. This is going to increase the damage dealt by 24% when facing less than 2 enemies within a 20-meter range, and this is going to be insanely strong. You're going to be able to use this to blitz down almost anything in the game. It's insanely high value, and once again, you can farm this demon wedge while you're farming something else, like for example your Wings Inspo, and you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, as well as some of the other options on this list. But Duel is absolutely a must-have demon wedge, precisely because it's not locked behind a particular element, and you can just slot this on pretty much any one of your characters. For our next demon wedge, we have a wedge that is going to amplify the damage that your team is going to do. And the best part about this wedge is that it actually can be slotted on your AI or support companions, allowing your main DPS to deal more damage. And that is none other than Surge. Increases damage dealt by 24% when attacking off-balance enemies. Now, this is something that you guys got to understand because the wedge doesn't really tell you this. It's a debuff that you actually apply on the enemies. So when the enemy is off balance, you will be doing more damage to it. I wish it was a little bit better explained within the Demon Wedge itself, but now you know. You can go ahead and slot this on one of your support units, and when the enemy is off balance, you will be able to do more damage with your main character. This is a very good wedge that once again can be farmed while you're farming Wings Inspo, which is going to be pretty damn nice and is going to allow you to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, this last wedge under this category that we're talking about here, which is your character wedges, is a little bit of an extra one that I wanted to add. I don't believe this one is a must-have per se, but it will absolutely make your life easier, and it's one of those wedges that you can also slot on any character you want, and it's pretty much made for farming characters. So if you're someone that really likes farming, you need a lot of farm, you need to kill things faster, this wedge is definitely going to help you out, and you can go ahead and slot this on any character regardless of the element, and that is none other than Onslaught. Decreases damage taken by 12%. Defeating an enemy grants 1 stack that increases attack by 6% for 30 seconds, up to 15 stacks. This effect's duration refreshes with each new stack gained. So you guys could see how this could be a very good wedge for characters like, for example, a farming Rhythm, or a farming Rebecca, or a farming Fina. At the end of the day, it's going to be a wedge that you can slot on anybody. Is going to give you a very solid stat boost, and since you're constantly killing enemies as you're going through these waves, it's going to guarantee that you pretty much always will have this massive buff up. Moving on to our next category, we're going to talk about melee and range weapon wedges. Now, the first one I want to talk about is going to be Fold Over, because this is going to give you an insane amount of multi-shot, and you can pretty much put this on absolutely any weapon. Even if weapons right now aren't the best, it's still going to provide you a ton of usability, and it's going to be great on every single weapon. And not only that, but the only other option outside of the gold Fold Over is going to be a blue Fold Over. So as you guys could see, the difference is pretty damn big, and this is just at base. Once you start to actually dupe up this wedge, you're going to see a massive increase in your actual multi-shot, making this an absolute must-have wedge for so many weapons, if not every single range weapon. The next wedges we're going to talk about is none other than Celerity, and these are going to be insanely good for both range and melee weapon, and the main reason being is that the only other option are going to be blue Celerity wedges, so the increase from the blue to the gold is pretty damn big. And then if you decide to plus 10 these gold wedges, the difference is going to be astronomical. Insanely good wedges, despite the fact that weapons aren't the meta. Eventually, if they do become the meta, these are going to be even more high value, but just right now, they are extremely valuable. Not only do they increase the speed in which your weapons are being used, but they're also going to apply to things like, for example, your Piercing Ascent wedge, allowing you to fly across the sky even faster. The next wedge we're going to talk about is none other than Rage Trammel, and this is going to be a pretty damn good wedge, but at first look, a lot of people might not think this is a good wedge, simply because the purple version at +5 actually does offer more stats. So you might be asking yourself, why is this such a good wedge? And it's simple. It's going to be relatively easy to upgrade, and once you do upgrade it, it's actually going to be more high value than the purple option. This is going to give you crit damage and trigger probability, and so many weapons in the game take advantage of trigger probability. So this is a wedge that, as you're grinding everything else, is very much worth investing and getting to +10. At first, you might be able to use the purple wedge for actually quite a bit of time, but eventually, once you get this to +10, it's going to be a much better option than the purple wedge. For our next category, we have the Prime mods, and while you cannot actively farm these are some of the strongest mods you can go ahead and get right away. So once you start doing your chase missions, be sure to craft these as soon as you can, because these are instantly going to give you a stat increase on all of these stats that you can see right here when you compare them to their purple version. So while yes, we cannot target farm these particular wedges, these are going to be the ones that you want to make sure you craft for your main characters as fast as possible, and hopefully the devs add another way for us to get these wedges, whether it's by farming, crafting, or something along those lines. Nonetheless, the prime mods are going to be absolutely essential to increasing your overall stats in the game. Now, up next, we gotta talk about the elemental wedges. These are going to be absolutely vital for your characters, and they're going to provide insane stat boost as well as some very good abilities on the wedge itself. Things like Misty Veil, Turbulent Cyclone, Gleaming Glimmer, and Devouring Wildfire, as well as some of the other ones, are going to be absolutely vital for your characters. And the best part about these is that you're actually going to farm them as you're farming Covenanters, and we already know the Covenanter grind is actually serious. So you're eventually going to be able to get these to plus 10 a lot easier than it's going to be to get, you know, multiple Covenanter wedges to plus 10. So do be sure to go out of your way and start getting yourself some gold of these elemental wedges. The last wedges I want to make sure you guys build is going to be your Griffin series. This is going to be a little bit of a pain to grind because they do take a while, but the good thing about this is that while you're farming materials for your duel, for your surge, for your wings inspo, you're going to be able to get yourself some of these purple mats so you can go ahead and then craft the gold versions of them. And the thing with these Griffin series wedges is that you're going to rock them on every single one of your characters. They are very, very good, so do be sure to start grinding your Griffin wedges as you're farming all these other wedges. You're going to stockpile them and eventually craft yourself the gold version. Alright guys, and that pretty much wraps it up. I hope you guys enjoyed the information. The background footage was also quite entertaining for a lot of you, so I do hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what other things and what other wedges you'd like me to cover. If there's any gold wedge that you think I missed or that it's of equal importance to some of the ones I mentioned here, be sure to drop it in the comment section below. And one last tip that I would advise everybody is don't kill yourself farming plus 10 wedges right now. Only some of the ones I mentioned are really worth getting to plus 10, especially the ones for your character. Other than that, take your time, grind them out, plus 7, plus 8, and slowly start seeing the increase of power on your characters. Remember, we don't know what wedges are on the way. We do know that 1.1 will introduce more wedges, and that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. If you've enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.